Okay. First things I usually like to get my students to do after a invigorating game such as that
Yeah.
is to do a little debrief. So I like to split it into laning phase and mid to late game. So laning
hmm
phase, what do you think went well?
Oh, geez, let me remember actually. Uh, Short-term memory showing its prowess. What the fuck was this laning phase even? It feels like an age ago. Ah, yeah. So I didn't. So nothing really went horribly wrong in lane. I think we like both made some minor blunders, but apart from that, I didn't really feel like we got anything done either. That's also partly because we didn't get as much attention as I felt like we would, because our lane plan was mostly to like pick them and set them up. I could have probably done that more proactively, more often,
Mm-hmm.
but to actually really get kill them, I think we might have needed backup from Pyke or Talia, because I think we are quite low damage before level 6, and Nami also has a heal, so that's annoying. I don't think we can just clean one-shot one of them, even if we hit a binding, especially since Morgana has exhaust and not ignite.
Yeah, great way to
So
put
yeah,
it. You guys played to your game con and basically tried to let the other lanes win and stay ahead. Although if that actually happened, might be a different story altogether.
yeah, we did die a lot of times
Yeah.
because of
Um,
stupid mistakes.
okay, and how about the mid to late game? How do you think the area you wanted to focus on was keeping your attention in the mid to late game? How do you think you stuck to that goal?
Um, so first of all, it's always a bit different when talking to someone in the meantime. So
Yeah.
it was like okay, it was not great, not completely horrible. I've had worse games.
Mm-hmm.
This was also kind of a rough game because I got out of lane so behind. So I didn't really think I could do too much that game. But
Yeah.
also playing against Kazakh's Camille TF is always a joy as an ADC.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah, I definitely made a lot of mistakes which could have been prevented by thinking, like walking into that. Imagine that time when I said, "Hey, I'm gonna get Kazakhs now," and then I did. So
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
would be awesome if I just listened to myself a bit more often.
Trust your gut instinct. Yeah. Cool. So what I think we're gonna do here is we're gonna review early game, probably take about like 15 to 20 minutes, and then a couple of the team fights in mid to late game. Um, and then we'll have like a short break in between. Probably last about an hour. Does that sound alright to you?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So let's start off with the training phase then. Is the screen share okay, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So first off, you told me you guys had reaction to first wave and you knew they were leashing through bot. What should be going on through your mind right now?
Yeah, well, since Metalia is top,
Yeah.
their Kazakhs is gonna yoink or blue, and
Yeah.
so we need to do something with this wave to make sure that we don't get ganked. And now that you say it in hindsight, if I
Yeah.
had noticed that earlier, I probably should have pulled the wave.
yeah.
But at that point, that was no longer an option. So I think just YOLOing it and looking for Crash on 3 was the second best option, because I think we can get away with that reasonably if Morgana skills W level 2. And
Yeah.
also Kha'Zix can't really gank us too well before he's level 3 himself.
I'll let
So
you
I
in on
think,
a secret tip. If the
well,
waves already crash like this, you can still
mhm.
influence it to shove back towards you. If
Wait,
you
how?
if you're here where my mouse cursor is, and you
Mhm.
aggro these three minions and then walk back to bush to drop the aggro, they will refocus their aggro to one minion only, and then it'll start pushing towards you faster.
But won't they also not attack for a while, which offsets the same benefit?
No, because once they kill one minion quicker, the output source of your damage from your wave decreases by one minion.
Yeah, but that's. Oh, I'll just. There's no way to prove this, so not too much value in arguing about that. I'll just try it sometime.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So like in this
Actually,
scenario,
in
you walk here.
fact, let me just hop into practice tool right now
Yeah, do
and
it.
try it right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Please do.
Yeah, while it's loading, we can continue for a bit.
Yeah, sure thing. So, like we said, we knew who he was bot side.
Rest in peace, stream.
Oh. That is funky. There we go. Yeah, so if you guys are going to be playing weak side, you told me your game plan was just going to be chill and farm up. What did you mean by crash on 3, by the way? Tell me how you're going to carry that out usually.
So I would just slow push the first 2 waves, depending on matchup. Like against Jinx Nami, they actually have more ways to, maybe not more, but at least some amount of influence on the wave.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think against them we have to shove quite hard and make sure we get level 2 first, so we can try to actually zone them off the wave. Because if they trim it too much, then our crash won't be too good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then just hard shove, put everything in the 3rd wave, and recall after.
Yep. Good. Have you managed to get into practice tool?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you do a little screen share as well?
1 sec. Now I'm excited.
Yeah. So wait till they fully crash.
So let them crash.
Yep. Walk up to
Then
the
I
small
like
ones.
walk here.
Auto once, and then go back to bush. No, the bottom one.
But the bottom one.
Yeah.
Like this. Oh.
Do you see how they're all focusing 1 minion now?
Yeah, I understand now. Yeah, that makes sense now. Did you did you watch the video about dodging minion aggro entirely?
No? What is this? Tell me about it.
Now I'll let you in on some secrets. So do you know how minion aggro works in terms of when they decide what they attack?
I'm not sure I do. If you're referring to like...
This is the one. So there's this pattern of the minions, right? Where they have a phase where they select their target by like a priority list, and then they attack it. And if you attack an enemy champion during their attack, then they won't check for the priority list in that second, and so you won't get aggroed by them.
Right.
It's pretty 900 IQ, and there's no way I'll ever pull that off in my lifetime, but it's pretty funky.
I'll give that a watch.
Yeah.
After this session.
Yes. Go ahead. It's pretty insane. But yeah. All right. Yeah, and I assume that's how that trick works too, because I just like pull the minion aggro once, and they think they should attack me, but in their priority list, champions who attack minions are only like below minions who attack minions, I think, or something. But that's also explained in the video.
Right. Interesting.
It's like something like champions who attack champions, then minions who attack champions, then champions who attack minions, and then minions who attack minions or something.
That is a very long list.
Yeah. It's like a priority check or whatever. But let's not dwell on that. So yeah, at this point we have the desired outcome anyway because Jinx is ending. So that's nice. And yeah, Morgana's in an awkward spot. I don't think I can do too much about that.
No. I don't think she should have gone to go check the Kha'Zix. Under the assumption that he was already bot side, that would be the safest to just play around here.
It's none of my concern, really.
Cool. Yeah, in hindsight, you saw how big this wave was. Should have already been thinning it earlier. But you were saying that in the meantime. So, look.
I also don't know if we can even freeze on Jinx Nami. But yeah, doesn't help too much to think about it now.
Yeah.
You should just Q the wave, maybe even W.
Okay.
Last thing on the tower. Pain Pickle.
Now we have the ability to pause time. What is the best way to take care of this wave?
Honestly, I have no clue. I just can't last it on the tower. Push it. I wouldn't have an idea how to approach this. So usually I would look for like a Q to kill all of them somehow.
Right,
But I think that's hard to pull off with level 1 Q and level 1 auto attacks.
right.
And all these, like, so the one that's getting tower shot right now is already dead. So
Okay,
we are
so that's
mostly
gone.
looking, yeah, so we're mostly looking at the 3 other ones which are low, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is all of them are going to be one shot by the tower. And also all of them are going to take multiple auto attacks from me to get CS'd. So, I don't know. This is so awkward. What I could maybe look to do is, because I think the most top one is going to be aggroed first, I could try to. Oh, also, it's even more awkward because I'm reloading right now.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I had bullets right now, I would just try to attack the one below it once, and then the one above it once, and then Q both of them, and then W the 2 minions below, like get them like that. But then the bottom ones are still screwed, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't know how.
So in this kind of scenario, you have to basically prioritize the ones you know you can get. So I'm already going to sacrifice this one because I know the turret might aggro this one first, actually, instead of the top one.
Oh yeah, true. That's kind of close.
So yeah, I'd set up for these 4, and I just know these 2 are already lost. And if I can get them, or if my Morgana starts autoing these ones, then great. If not, it. Also, you do know the tip of kind of like last hitting when the turret's firing towards it, right?
Don't know exactly what you mean, but probably.
Yeah,
Like, I know one thing I should do is when the tower is like hitting a minion,
yeah,
then I should wait for it to shoot one more tower shot, so
yes, yeah,
I have more time to reload.
yes,
Don't know if that's what you're referring to.
yep. And the other tip when you're farming under turret to kind of minimize the amount of time your projectile travels is to make sure you're standing right next to the minion as well.
Yep. That's just two more of those things which I know in theory and just fail to think about.
Have you ever done CS practice?
I actually do that every morning, yes.
Okay, right.
Well, I mean, not every morning, but I attempt to. And sometimes I just don't because I'm lazy.
And do you focus on it being under turret, or do you just CS out in lane?
I actually never do it on a turret, and that's a pretty big flaw in the concept.
Right. That might be something to work in then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so by this point, we're pretty happy. Team's winning, and we just kind of need to play to our win con, which will be winning through mid and jungle. How can you provide the best support to those 2 lanes?
Just try to. Well, normally I would answer try to let Morgana roam, but I don't think that's realistic in this lane because Jinx and Nami are pretty oppressive.
Yep.
So I would just try to somehow equalize and not demand too much attention from the rest of my team, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly just. But it feels so shit to say I would just throw everything at the wave and then play ping pong with her because it just feels so wrong.
Why?
Whenever someone plays ping pong with a wave, it's an indication that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's possible that this is the one situation where ping ponging is actually the correct play.
Yeah, if you can demand less resources from your jungle, that's absolutely what she wants, and what is gonna win you the game, basically.
Yeah, but also bot is so gankable though. They are both immobile. We have a Pike and a Talia. We have all the CC in the world.
If they choose to roam bot, then so be it. But if they don't, that's kind of our role to fulfill in the game.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So I should just shove it if I think they won't come bot, and then
Yeah.
freeze if I think they do.
Yeah.
Sure, can live with that.
One more thing on top of that to think of is stuff like this. If you're going to put pinks down, I always say to my support students, make sure it's a pink that you can actually defend. Like you said, they have much more dealing power and are much more oppressive.
Yeah,
So
so I can't defend that one.
yeah,
Sure.
and that's a waste of 75 gold, which could have been the
Yeah.
difference between getting your Gale Force 1 minute later.
You could also say that's missing a cannon minion, which
That
is much more painful.
does that hurt more to say?
Yes, for an ADC player, definitely.
Right. So just stuff like
Actually,
this.
by the way, this
Hmm.
was one of the reasons why I picked you out of the bunch of $10 coaches on the Zen server, is because support as a coach is one of my worst roles to coach. And I'm sort of interested in a support player's perspective on ADC, if you will.
Yeah.
So if you have any comments on it, like if you were the Morgana and stuff that you would want to see me do, if you were my support, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I can definitely comment on that too. Have you heard of the concept of pockets as well?
Yes, but
So,
so the reason why I'm not really focusing on them is because I
mhm.
think they are on a level of detail which I shouldn't concern myself with right now. I think I have bigger problems. And so what you're probably wanting me to think about here is that Jinx has a skill shot in her W, so I should be playing South, is what I would assume, or at least behind minions.
Kind of the rationale. I think I'm more tending towards thinking of where your own minion wave is going to back you up towards here,
Mm-hmm.
towards this angle. But yeah, if you don't think pockets are that important for you to focus on right now,
Well, I mean, we can talk about them. I don't mind. It's
um,
just another thing on the long list of things I need to think about, and I don't know if that's what I need right now. But sure.
right, no bother. So, as a support player, I think this play we kind of talked about quite a fair bit. You remember how they had a larger minion wave, and trying to look for any sort of engage here would be bad.
Yep.
So as you're moving back, you should be spotting opportunities that the jungle might come for a lane gank, and I would ward a lot more beforehand. So here you had a really nice opportunity to A, provide a deep teleport ward for Aatrox, and also spot any sort of lane opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. Yeah, that's definitely something. Because that's another thing. I really suck at warding, not just when I'm auto full support, but like in general.
We can definitely talk about how to provide the best vision. That's what we're going to come to in mid to late game. I wanted to ask if you had any sort of flow chart for where you're supposed to be in mid to late game.
Uh, well, not directly, but I could probably make one up without too much issue.
Yeah, let's talk about it in the mid to late game.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
for now, like in this kind of area where the wave is just kind of bouncing back and forth, I know it does feel bad to kind of like play, um, but sometimes it is just the reality.
Sad.
Cool. So, like in a scenario like this, Talia's bot. You know this is warded. I see no pings from your side. Um,
Yeah. Pings is also a thing I should be doing way more.
yeah.
And also, I always forget on which key I bound my this is warded ping, but I think it's H. So
Cool.
try to remember that next time.
Yeah. Have you heard of the parallel line rule?
Yes.
And you've probably heard of the triangle rule, which is on top of that as well.
Possibly.
Kind of similar.
So like it's basically the 2v1 trading then, I assume, or
Yeah.
what's that referring to?
No, it's exactly that. Between you and your support, if Morgana was here at this moment, this kind of
Mhm.
forms, then you should be also walking amongst this wave as well to look for
Yep.
whenever Talia engages.
Hmm.
Although there is a certain point where you don't want to give up the gank or trying to give an idea that they're
Yeah,
Talia.
that was my intention in this situation because I
Yeah,
didn't think Telega was here yet. But yeah,
cool. I would
so
ping Jinx Flash. Do you know how to time summoners?
uh, if you ask like that, then probably not. Because I always assume that's what supports do.
Yeah. Cool. How long's Flash cooldown?
5 usually, unless they have Cosmic Insight
Cool. And
or Lucidities.
yeah, if Jinx flashes now, we'll be back up.
So what type of answer do you expect here? 1054 or what?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I want you to use those kind of windows of opportunity to have a summoner spell advantage and trade more aggressively.
Yeah, sure. Can see that.
I was just very annoyed that your mid jungle didn't abuse that to the fact that where they would be bot lane or kind of force a dive if you know they're immobile under turret.
Mm-hmm. That's true. By the way, are you writing that stuff down, or should I be doing that?
I've got my notes down here as well, so
Right.
what I'll do is I'll upload the YouTube recording usually, and then I'll also put underneath in the description what my main kind of things usually are for you.
All right, awesome. Here was worried for a second that Nami might actually freeze, but just kidding. Here I was considering Swifties, but as I also think I said in game, I don't think it's worth it here.
Yeah. Uh, you got Noon Quiver over Swifties. It depends if you're looking to fight, I guess, or you're kind of more playing the long-term game.
Yeah, well, in hindsight, it was like I could claim that it was to be better at counter pushing the wave, because
Mhm.
now I know that I want to just play ping pong. Yay! But I can't really claim to claim that was my thought process in game. So
Yeah. One of the other things that I think is important to show is you went for boots or pot start, and I remember
mm-hmm.
you saying how you had a lot of it here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that Zen always loves to bang on about is using your HP as a resource.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of that concept, yeah?
Uh, sort of. So now that you say it, I can easily imagine what it would be about. It would
Mm-hmm.
be like giving up HP to do stuff like, for example, when I put that wave around for 5 minutes
Yeah,
in the lane.
yeah,
That would be an example of that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm familiar with that in the context of attacking people's mana pools,
Mm-hmm.
but not in like other situations. But I could easily imagine that being a thing in other situations too.
Yeah, if you're going for a more sustain heavy type lane, then this would be the perfect time to trade a bit more, be a bit more.
Yeah. Speaking of, I could have probably used the potions to play against Nami's mana pool, but well,
Yeah, great idea. Yeah, so we're just happy sitting here and farming up. Yep, we're just playing Farming Simulator.
yeah, this is the wave where I wasn't sure if I was supposed to fast push.
Right. And in hindsight, right now, you can say, okay, if they're coming back to lane, um, this kind of slow push, if they're looking to do Drake, is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Also, in spots like these, I'm not even sure if either one is right. Or wrong. I just feel like both have their merits.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because if I fast pushed this right now, I could have just ran to Talia and help her with Drake, which would run the risk of them freezing. But then in theory, I can just get Talia to come down and bail me out.
And
That's not too
remember,
bad either.
who doesn't have Flash?
Haha, true.
Both of them don't have Flash.
Oh wait, Nami flash too?
Yeah, she flashed in the jungle, like when she died to Pike earlier. Like, here? Yeah, here.
No, true.
Yeah, sorry, right here.
Yep.
So then that would just be in a perfect angle for you guys to take bot side to them.
Sure.
One of the other wards that are really good. So say the enemies weren't here, and you had the ability to fast push. A ward right here also gives you really good vision of lane ganks and also better TP ward.
That's a really fancy ward.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's just outside of turret range, and any circle control wards in this bush and this bush will not spot it. So unless they're specifically sweeping for it, you'll never find it. Cool, we successfully avoided a good gank. Do you know how to ward this bush from standing over here?
Yeah, no. So I know it in theory, and I always fail it.
Okay.
So I stopped bothering to try. I know I'm supposed to like stand right next to the wall and then click on the stone in the middle of the waterfall or something, but
yeah. Okay,
I just can't pull it off ever.
We'll go to practice till after and make sure we get that down. Because
yeah, sure.
One, you know if Kha'Zix is still staying around for the gank, and second, you don't have to face check it by like walking all the way over here. Right, so Morgana's calling for the play here. You told me in hindsight this was a bad play because of the wave.
Yeah, and also this is a bad play because my entire team is topside.
Yeah. Communicate that. Tell her ping her back. You're being an absolute idiot by trying to fight 2 level 6s against 1 level 5. Yeah, it's just such a dumb decision. And she could have black shielded herself too and walked through those traps, but
oh jeez, and this is where I flip it. Oi oi oi.
So I genuinely think here you could have gone for flash auto Q. Sorry, auto Q 4-shot. But I think we waited.
As in the first auto instantly on them, or?
Yeah, auto Q 4-shot.
Okay, sure.
Because they have no flash currently.
And then probably on Jinx, I assume. Okay.
Because they've kind of regen the amount of health already.
But I think that was mostly Nami W and heal, no?
Let's see.
Yeah. So like here, Jinx gets a Nami W, and then she also heals herself, and then I think I don't kill her through that.
Okay. Right, okay. No, sorry, my bad then.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to flip.
Yeah.
I was too hung up on trying to show you the tech. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Let's see. Oh, why did we opt for pickaxe here, by the way, instead of Swifties? Any reason why?
Yeah, I don't want to delay my Gale Force any longer, and also I still don't think I need boots that badly.
Okay.
Boots are gonna become more important once the map opens up more.
Yeah.
But right now, there's still most towers up. Kha'Zix hasn't really shown what, and with the way I've seen Jinx play so far, I have no reason to assume she's gonna stop shoving anytime soon.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah,
I think I'll just chill.
Yeah, that's completely fair reasoning. Here was the perfect time for you to ult. Yes.
And then somehow the dive goes wrong.
Oh, it's actually tragic.
Jeez.
No, it's bad. It's actually horrible. It becomes a 2 for 3.
Yeah, that's 800 shutdown to Jinx. Oh yeah, he's where I troll with the wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, just back as soon as I realized the dive is doomed. Kha'Zix is there.
Yep.
That's my main problem, I think. I just do dumb shit like that too much. Where I know it's stupid in hindsight immediately, and then, well, I don't realize it before, so I can't avoid it.
Like just stuff. Wait, what were you playing?
Yes, this one. Yeah, my Talia's my pike is heading top. I'm setting up a freeze for what gank exactly? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just
Well,
always like
also,
really afraid of these kind of scenarios where you can just get run down by Jinx with ult. Sorry, yeah, what were you saying?
oh, nothing really. Also, I don't have my potions anymore, so
Mm.
it's even worse.
I'm probably playing off the assumption that Jinx has no ult here. But it's just kind of silly.
Yeah, here I should have auto attacked, man. I had fleet up. I would have lived.
Yeah.
Sad. Yeah. And now imagine I hadn't bought Swifties again. I would have Gale Force now. Feels bad, man.
Oh, would you? Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
All
mean,
right.
if I then I wouldn't have Swifties, which is also a pretty big downside. And delaying boots for that long is probably also grief. But
Cool. Do you know how to tier 2 freeze, by the way?
um, if you ask me like that, probably not. I do try to do it a lot. I don't know of any rule which would help me facilitate that consistently. I just sort of keep extra minions around and then see how it goes, because
Mm-hmm.
it's always pretty awkward with like the cannon minions
Yeah,
coming in alternating fashion.
because it bounces back and forth, so you'll
Yep.
always be kind of caught between tier 1 and tier 2 area.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really have any hard fast rules for it either. I just think of it more in terms of when do I need to break the freeze to prepare the way for an objective.
Yeah.
As in,
Okay.
if I know the Drake is spawning in 1 minute,
Yeah. Yeah.
do I start the slow push now? And that's kind of the thing I want you to start thinking of as well.
Yeah. Sure. Can see that.
Okay, so here we just go mid. Like, I felt like a lot of this game was just like all the stuff was happening around you, and we
Yeah.
were
And
just.
I'm just like this dog meme sitting in the flames. This is fine.
Yeah. Right. I think we're kind of getting into that kind of mid to mid game stage. So I wanted
Yep.
to ask you what your gameplay decision, what your flowchart is.
Yeah, so I always want to catch waves. That's always my like first priority as an ADC, I think. And then I want to also make sure that while catching those waves, I don't fuck up the wave state. So I make sure that they actually crash into the tower and then reset properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'm like free to do stuff. Stuff is usually farming jungle camps. Stuff is sometimes, in the case of Jin, looking for ganks on people. And then all of that is overruled if there's a fight somewhere. And if there's a fight somewhere, then I need to ask myself, okay, can I impact that fight? And if the answer is yes, then I need to ask, okay, what do I get if I stay in lane? And if that's more than what I will likely get from the fight, then I'll stay in lane. And if not, then I'll move to the fight.
Could you distill that process into less than 10 words?
That's a very interesting question.
Give it a shot.
Thinking right now. Well, it's definitely hard. Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
Farm unless there's a fight, I guess. That's kind of oversimplified, but
I think that's a very good start. The reason why I asked you to do this kind of exercise is you want to keep things simple because our brain has a tendency to autopilot in these kind of scenarios.
mm-hmm.
So if you're able to kind of just run this in the background of your brain while focusing on the things that you need to pay attention to, for example, getting picked by overextending or being in time for objectives, those two are the variables that you need to consider the most. Waves and CS should already be at the back of your mind constantly.
Yep.
So how best to structure it? You told me farming waves unless there's a fight breaking out.
Yep.
I'm gonna add a little addendum before that and say consider picks and visions, then take CS, and then fights if anything breaks out. What I mean by this is if you're going to catch a midway, for example, here, you've got a very good coverage from your team, and thankfully your team wards here. But if you didn't have this kind of luxury of being able to see both your flank positions, where would you put your blue ward?
No. On either flank, probably on top, and then play towards top, because right now I'm thinking they're on bot side, so top is most
Perfect.
likely where I would want to escape to.
Yes, perfect. So that kind of thought saying I need to provide myself vision if I want to walk up here. Of course, it's a special case where whenever TF is in the game, um,
Yeah. Well,
because he just appears wherever.
yep.
But if it wasn't that mid laner, that's the kind of thought process I want you to have. Does that make
Yep.
sense?
Sure.
Cool. So, for example, here, a fight's breaking out in bot lane, but chances are, will you be there in time?
So, first of all, no. But also, I think even if I move here, I don't really miss anything in mid. So that's what I did.
Mm.
And also, Talia has wall ups, and I can't wall up, and I can't really estimate if that's an actual engaged here.
Yeah.
So I share your gut feeling of this is probably not going to be a fight, but since it's solo queue, you never know.
Right.
And yeah, here she goes.
The reason why I bring that up was would you have done more by scrubbing Tilia's topside camps? But that just could have been, like you said, gone either way in solo queue. Like, why would
Yeah,
they fight again? The
I
fight was
mean,
already over.
this is just I think this is hard to coach on because it's just
Yeah,
so solo QE. If this was competitive, then yeah, sure, I'm taking the top camps 10 out of 10 times.
yeah, yeah.
But since it's in solo queue, you always have to find a balance between making sure your team doesn't do stupid shit and
Hmm.
farming for yourself.
Yeah. Was this the
So yeah, I
Kazakh
think
scenario?
possibly
Right.
I should
Just
have just run. Okay, yeah, was about to say if it was the Kazakh scenario, then I should have just run bot side, but it's not, so fine.
yeah. Yeah, so like in this scenario, you're probably not needed for Drake, so you go to fix top camps, right? Or mid wave, and then go
Something
top?
like that.
Yeah.
It depends. I don't know when Drake is up actually.
It's up right now, it should be. So here I would just back immediately. There's no point kind of moving to Drake. Um,
I'm not gonna. Yeah. So first of all, with the no point moving to Drake, I agree since it's already one shot.
mhm.
I don't think I would base here though because my base is pretty awkward right now and we don't have anything to fight for.
Right.
Because I think I really want my last whisper here
Okay, okay.
for a base. Because if I base right now, I just get longsword and crit cloak. Well, that base just kind of blows.
Mm.
What
So if
also
you,
sucks about this though is that I don't get to fully fix this wave because I don't think I can take this one. Actually, it might be fine because Pike and Morgana are kind of covering me.
yeah. So they're providing the same thing which we talked about. They have their
Yep,
vision
was
prerequisite.
about to say that's
Yeah.
exactly the thing you told me
Yes.
about earlier.
Vision into waves. Move for fight if there is. Cool. One more thing on top of this is like if you were in charge of your team right at this moment after they take Drake, what would be the best distribution of resources around the map?
Let's see. So top wave is about to crash, I think. So someone needs to catch that rather quickly, and that would probably either be me if I'm the closest, or we could think about investing Aatrox TP, but I don't think that's worth. And
Mhm.
then we need to think about if we want Herald, but Herald is despawning rather soon, so it's probably not a consideration. Yes, I would probably have me run up, and then I would need to know the exact gold amounts of my teammates. So like depends on if they need to base or not.
Mm-hmm.
But since there's a bot wave, Aatrox could probably freeze that since there's nothing going on.
Right.
And then we can try to make a pick off of that
Yeah.
with the pike and our other stuff. And then Talia should probably recall anyway and then take top camps. Maybe
Good.
look to take Barret anyway, because why not?
Good. These kind of split second analysis is what you're gonna want to hone as quick as you can. The tip that I try to tell my students is to not look at where the wave currently is, but where it's going to be in a minute.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that people never seem to take into account, I think it's just because of a lack of like future insight, is the location of where their current wave is and mirroring it on the opposite side. But as a coach, I'm sure you've told that to your students a lot of times before as well.
Yep. That is correct.
So good if you can take that into account. Cool. How are you doing? Do you need a 5-minute break, or are you still good to keep chugging along?
Chilling.
Cool.
Used to sitting in front of my PC for 10 hours at a time, which is
Oh.
probably not a good thing, but well, since we're already there, might as well.
Good.
Yeah, good, exactly. No.
Or no. Right. What I wanted to talk to you about here is we are currently in the driver's seat, or your team is anyways. How can you force the enemy to surrender or not drag this game out longer than it needs to be?
We're picks all the time, so I guess just deny them vision with control while stay.
That is not your job explicitly, but kind of like vision is your team's job. Okay. Anything else?
So, well, since I'm Jin, I would want to look for Ws and ultimates to CC people and enable Pike to blow them up.
Yeah, sounds good. So putting 2 and 2 together, where should we kind of sit?
So you mean in terms of where I should position myself?
Yep.
Far away. Or like, I don't really know what you're getting at here.
If you're trying to create a pick, the usual prerequisite, like always, is vision first. So if you're able to carry out vision around the center quadrant of the map, make a pick, and then immediately go for Baron to pushing power, that's the kind of game plan that I want to see.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not sure how it managed to turn into such a clown fiesta, though, if I'm honest. Like,
same.
Right. So I think what's more important for us to go over is how well or how we can better team fight when it comes to when it comes to fighting for objectives, especially. So have you heard of the idea of kind of using vision to channel which direction you want to kite towards?
I have not heard of it, but just by hearing it sort of already makes sense.
Yeah. So
if there's like 2 ways to Baron and we sweep one of them clean,
yes,
leave one open with vision, then they're gonna walk through that likely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
same thing with our retreat, right? If we set up for Baron, then we should probably make sure one area is one way for us to back out is brightly lit.
Yes, and this is probably the support in me talking right now. But that is the idea that you always want to have a route of exit. What was it? I want to quote Genghis Khan here, but I feel like I'm gonna butcher his maxim. You know, like always attack with aggression, but have a plan of retreat or something.
Sure, I'll take it.
But that is the kind of idea, especially, and you can provide that with yourself kiting, by spamming traps beforehand and thinking of which direction am I going to move back towards when the fight gets hairy.
Yeah, actually used to do that a lot, like place a trap where I would want to run out.
Okay.
But I kind of just stopped doing it for some reason.
Hmm.
I used to be a huge sucker for just placing a trap on either the blue buff entrance or like the one below Baron Pit, like towards red, and then run out through
Okay.
that way
Right.
when fights would go wrong.
Right.
But that's been, I don't know, a year ago or something, and I just forgot about it or some shit.
Could
Jeez.
be a good time to start again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So here, I think I'm already doomed. So the mistake was somewhere before that.
I personally couldn't have predicted that either. Like, there should be no reason why Kha'Zix was top. I thought he would be joining mid fight right now, but
Yeah, same.
that's why I felt like this was safe to go for as well. So
Yeah, but I just
yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah,
Also,
fine.
there's probably no way I'll claim there, right?
No.
I think I have the numbers.
Okay, cool. Let's see if I can find one of the timestamps for the team fights. Like the full-on 5v5s. Oh, this demonstrates it really well. Okay, so if you know that they're going to be fighting towards this angle, the channel which you want to kite towards is either through back through to your tier 2 through there, or kind of up through this brush as well. So kind of clearing that kind of path for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so see how you're positioning around the area where they can easily flank you the most. So you should be covering bot side right now.
Yep.
Uh,
Actually, I think they could flank us from both sides there.
if they, you guys had a fight around this side, so chances are they would be using that same entrance again.
Yeah, sure. Actually, who's they even? Like Kazakhs and who else is alive?
I don't even know, but
Yeah, I don't need. Funny how we can just both forget.
yeah.
But yeah.
So like, look, we have
Yeah.
Soul right now
Mm-hmm.
to use it
So
to pressure. Well, one of the things I also wanted to talk about was, have you guys heard of delaying taking Soul so you could swap one Drake and take Baron in the meantime?
once again, no. But since you've said it, sort of makes sense. But in this situation, I don't think we could have done it for two reasons. Because first of all, there's a solo queue, and well, it's hard to coordinate stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think we had a pretty good opening. And at this point, I wouldn't really want to flip the Soul Drake if we can avoid it. But yeah, I'll totally take that concept up for competitive play.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as to avoid Elder and Baron being up at the same time, for example.
Yes. And it's kind of like the concept of they need to be at the Drake pit when it spawns, but you guys don't necessarily. So if you have good vision coverage and can deny them vision of both Drake and Baron at the same time, you keep them in a guessing game.
Yep.
We do take Baron here, right? Yeah, we do take Baron.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God.
Thank God, indeed.
Okay, reallocation of resources again. Oh no, maybe this is why we couldn't push, because we were dead.
Yeah, that's possible. Actually, this is probably the Kazakh thing. Can you go back like a few seconds?
Yeah.
Want to see if this is like predictable at all? Because I think it's really tough. I should have controlled one of the pixel bush, by the way.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Like way earlier, before the Baron play even.
Here.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Probably still earlier. Because I never use control wards, it feels like. Yeah. So like Jin has this cool thing where I always have my four shots, and then after the fourth shot I have some downtime where I can't DPS anyway.
Yeah.
So like here I should have positioned towards bot side and then just move down, put a control ward while
Right.
reloading.
I
So
see.
that's pretty free.
Okay.
But yeah. Here once again, here it's a bit less reasonable because Baron is already over.
Yeah.
But still, that's also pretty hindsight bias, not gonna lie. Because here I still wouldn't expect, like, look at my left side jungle vision.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
How
have.
how the hell is he? Actually, is he coming from bot side?
I
He's
don't
coming
even
from
know.
bot side, no?
I don't even know. I mean, he definitely has to have come from bot side brush. But then he walks from here. I don't know. Maybe he was looking around for the Baron steal and then came from the top angle. Who knows?
Yeah.
We did blow every single summer under the planet, though.
Yeah. Because I felt like I could escape, but turns out nope.
Yeah. Right, okay. In terms of usefulness of the VOD, let's just look at a couple of the team fights. The rest of it was just kind of like, how do you describe it? It's a bit of a clown fiesta.
Yeah, I also tend to cut off my reviews at like 15 to 20 minutes because I think that's like the part of the game where you can do the most.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's just kind of running around with a team, hoping team fights go well.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of getting caught. Right. This was fine. Nothing you could really do at that point.
Yeah, I'm also really not that well positioned to do much this game, just because of how behind I am.
Yeah. Okay. We're in this scenario again. 2 over here, there over there. How do you want to approach this fight?
I should probably just try to trap somewhere to make sure Talia and me are safe, and then try to snipe someone. Because now in hindsight, knowing what happened, I can't really walk up for auto attacks. TF has gold card, Nami has bubble, Jinx outranges me hard.
Yeah.
So I just shouldn't look for auto attacks, which is pretty tough thing to realize, I think, for an ADC player.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that is what kind of differentiates a good from a great ADC player, though, right? Like the restraint from being able to say, "Oh, I'm just gonna jump in and auto everything."
Yeah, that's the one thing, but the problem is the other thing which makes ADCs great is the opposite. Like knowing when you can go full
Yeah.
psychopath mode and slaughter everyone, although it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna.
And of the two, I think that's the thing I'm worse at.
Knowing when you can go in.
Yeah, because like in my I have for fun team, if you will,
Right.
my brother who's hard stuck gold because he doesn't listen to me, Pepper Hands. And then and then we just play, and we're constantly memeing each other because homie squad and stuff. And my meme is always I try to never do coin flips ever,
Right.
and just make the safe play whenever possible.
See.
And just don't troll, and eventually the enemy is gonna troll harder than you.
Yeah. Like who's gonna make the most mistakes, right?
Yeah, probably something along those lines. But yeah, in this case, there should have been even more of that.
Yeah, I mean,
so this is still fine, I think. Even the auto attack, this is a bit awkward because of the Everfrost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gale Force out, perfect.
Yeah. Actually, I think I could have used the Blast Cone if it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this auto attack is just ay. She kind of outplayed me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, also gold card, but she also spaced that really well to her credit.
Spicy fight. Very spicy indeed. Okay. This one was the setup which I wanted also to talk about. I'm not like as Jin, you have so much long range CC, which means it's really good and you never need to be picking with people. So
clicking with people.
yeah, so I think you stand in the bush with Morgana at one point, like in the maybe it wasn't this one, but you stand with Morgana here for some random reason, um, trying to force like a pick onto someone as they walk through mid lane, and the end result is that they just take 2 turrets off you guys, or maybe it was this play, because you guys have to take the this track while they're just able to like walk down straight through mid.
Yeah, what would you have done instead?
I would have not been there in the first place because they have Elder and just defend through turrets.
Sure. Yeah. So just be in mid lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd honestly, yeah.
Ult them.
Boop.
Timing.
Got the flash. Yeah, so this is like good restraint. Or no, this is just restraint from... Or this was your ping because you could buy Elder, right? Or buy RFC.
RFC, yes.
Yeah. That was an example of a very good 4-shot.
Yep.
Gale Force 4-shot. Very nice.
I wonder if I could have, like, if you go back 10 seconds or something,
Yeah.
if I could have somehow kept up. Like, I guess I couldn't if I recall here. But if I could have had fourth shot immediately for that fight.
Oh, right.
So, like, here.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, no. I don't think that's a way. But still, good to think about.
Mm-hmm. What happened there? What were you thinking?
I don't know. Let's figure it out.
Okay, so you got...
yeah, Camille goes in. I run away because I'm scared. She turns, then I turn. It's all fine, I think. Yeah, maybe I should just walk upwards. What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, haha. Yeah, I know what happened. I was like, okay, if I flash and crit her here, then I think she dies.
Right.
But then Nami healed her, and then she didn't. And also, I didn't see her GA because that item is very, very visible.
Right. I see.
And yeah, that's why this just looks a bit grief.
I'm actually super surprised they didn't win here.
Yep, same.
Like, they definitely should have won this 2v3. I guess Pyke is a...
yeah, Pyke is also... Yeah, that ultimate was... Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Very, very smooth. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to watch this. Fine. Cool. Shall we hop into practice to talk about a couple of other warding tips, and then we'll wrap it up for the session today? Does that sound alright with you? Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Let me log into League as well. Do you have any other questions, by the way, or is it all making sense so far?
No, I think I'm following quite well.
Okay, great. Here's my link. There we are.
Let's see. I need this. Then I need to go. Actually, let's just
I bloom like a
able
flower
towers.
in the dawn.
Yep.
So here's the magic spot, right? I think it's somewhere around. There we go.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
So
I just need to go. What?
yeah,
So
the reason why you're not getting it is because you need to stand in the groove. So you see where the dead ward is? There should be a little spot in which you can walk into. Yeah, there. And then now put your cursor
This.
over the little rock and you'll get it every single time.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. He doesn't walk. Ah, okay.
So you see how
And then
there's
like
that kind of
just
little
slightly-
groove? Yeah.
And I just put it slightly above. What happens if it?
Yeah, wherever
Nothing.
you really
Nothing
want.
happens. Okay. Okay. Then I just put it to the left. Right.
Yep.
Wonder if this is intentional by them to have them like put a landmark exactly where the ward is.
Probably, it
It's
wouldn't
funny.
surprise me. Okay, and then the other one, which is also really important, is go to Drake Pit.
Yeah.
Warding that bush from inside the Drake Pit. Do you know that trick? Not the bottom one, the top one.
The top one? Or
Yep.
this one?
Yep.
I don't know if there's a trick to it.
I can't really do it consistently either.
Close. I don't even know. This is like. Hey, I got it.
Nice. But that's also very useful and handy to have if you need to cover that kind of ward area as well. The thing I wanted to show you especially is here. Let me share my screen. If you have no time to kind of set up a really good coverage or the best kind of Drake control and you want to cover both paths, the best way to do it is just to walk up here and drop 2 wards like this. And now you've covered both areas, and now you're ready to take Drake fight and basically kite towards bot or kite towards mid lane.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of wards, another thing that I like to do is whenever I have like downtime and want to go ward, then I do like these 2 wards. Because I think they give me good vision. But would you go for 2 different ones? Or
You went for, what did you go for? Banana Brush and Crossroads.
like
Yeah.
these 2?
Yeah, absolutely. The one on the left is
Wait, banana brush? What the heck is banana brush?
the one on the left. That's your Banana Brush.
Well, with some creativity. Sure.
It's
Well,
not
actually,
exactly.
I guess if we account for the turn after, sure.
Yeah.
Then I can see it.
Yeah. And then you have Crossroads on the other side.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
And I told you about the lane one already, just to kind of give you a bit more spot for lane ganks and also.
The lane one? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like just wait, where was it? This thingy?
Yeah, either up or
down
bot.
here.
Yeah, either or. Both of them are really good.
So actually, how do I know if this is actually let's do it on top lane. So how do I know if this is in range or not? So let's
Turn on vision.
get rid of these. Turn on vision range.
Yeah, there should be a button for it. I've never seen it myself actually. Maybe there isn't.
As a button for win the game. That's funny. That's funny.
I have it. I have it on my screen if you want to see.
Yeah.
That is tower vision range.
And that's the same as tower pink ward detection range?
Yep.
If you will? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that.
So anywhere within there should be good. That's up to you.
Yeah, actually I see it too.
There is nothing for me.
So it doesn't even matter that much. I can go like up until here.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, and or the last one won't be. But
Yeah.
if you want to give them a good TP flank angle.
Cool.
Great. So that covers. We've covered quite a lot of ground for the first session here.
Yeah. I agree. I just hope I'll remember all of this.
Yeah, and this is the hard part. I don't want you to get too bogged down with too many tasks. So I want you to pick 2 things that you're going to focus on the most.
Definitely the fourth shot in Teamfight thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like have it set up.
Right.
Because I think that's really cool. Also, it's going to be easy to remember.
Yeah.
And then, oh geez.
Maybe one for laning phase. What do you think you're going to do
Oh
differently?
geez. I don't know, play more ping pong XD? No. Jeez. What do we even talk about in lane? I mean the wards, I guess. But
Yeah, that could be perfect.
What else was there? Even help me remember.
Uh,
Short-term memory is already failing me.
You could work on your summoner spell tracking or your HP trading and kind of using it as a resource.
Sure. So I think the HP trading thing is kind of niche. I think the summoner spell thing is always going to be relevant, so I'll probably do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have a second monitor by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do you have notes on it, which you put on?
I tried to do that actually for a while. I think I actually still have the document
Okay.
where I used to. So I used to put down notes for every game.
Yeah.
It's a Word document called League of Sins. Let's see how long it is. I think it's like 50 pages or some shit.
Right.
Yeah, I can see reactivating that. I just stopped doing it eventually because I felt like it was work and I'm lazy. And I didn't know how much it actually helped me. But
You
that was during the time in which I climbed to master, so maybe maybe it was actually a good thing. I don't know.
If you keep it in big font so you can always see it out of the corner of your vision, you'll naturally be more inclined to work on those things.
Yep.
And when you're done that, you can move on to the next task, and then the next task, and then suddenly, Thor, you are a challenger.
Poggers. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see. I think I want to go for like Grandmaster eventually, but I don't know if I'll make it to Challenger. But let's see how hard that's gonna be.
I have faith. I believe.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really know how much time I want to invest into climbing because right now I'm mostly focused on the coaching thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I had the fortune of meeting someone else who's really into coaching, and he
Right.
is already like has quite a bit more experience than me, and we understand each other really well. And now he became head coach at some upcoming French team,
Oh, right.
and we're just gonna try to rock that and get them into LFL eventually.
That sounds like a sick goal to have.
Yeah, it is indeed. We made some funny bet, so because we have to start at the bottom right now,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have to reach playoffs. And if we do, then the playoffs is gonna be live in Paris. And I promised him that if we reached that, then I would come to Paris with him.
Wow.
So that's gonna be fun.
Go to Paris and watch
Yes,
the
something
league.
like that.
Fantastic.
Where are you from, by the way?